Hey, what's going on, everyone? Hope you're doing well. We are live here in Virtual Wholesaling Made Simple. If you're not in the group, you want to go on Facebook and join the Virtual Wholesaling Made Simple group. If you're watching this on YouTube, we have a ton of value in there, and I'll look forward to connecting with you personally in the group. So for everybody else who is in Virtual Wholesaling Made Simple, maybe you're watching this on YouTube, guys, we are going to be diving deep into Propstream today, and this is going to be the best tutorial for Propstream if you've been looking to get started with it. Propstream is the exclusive software that we use to wholesale houses from home anywhere in the country. And it's the one that I recommend for you to use as well. Now, if you notice, I'm kind of looking everywhere but the camera. I just got a new monitor and I'm adjusting to how everything is laid out. So, but yeah, so we're going to go ahead and get rocking and rolling here. Gail, what's going on? Good to see you. Love that. And guys, do exactly what Gail did here when she joined and she's watching live. She accepted the StreamYard terms and conditions. And so that way I could see her name, give her a shout out, and I can respond to questions. I really, when someone asks questions and their name comes across as Facebook user because they didn't accept the StreamYard terms and conditions, it's kind of strange. I don't know who you are. But if you accept those, I can see you just like I can see Gail over there. So great stuff. I thrive off engagement. So before we get going, I see people are starting to pile on here. I love that. Go ahead and drop a comment where you're watching from, because I love to see where everybody's watching from. So go ahead and drop a comment there. I look forward. Okay, we got more people coming on. Drop where you're watching from. Want to see where you guys are watching from before we dive into the Propstream tutorial here. Propstream is a fantastic tool that you can use in your business, and it can help you it can help you identify the best territories. It can help you find cash buyers. It can help you find sellers. A big question you guys had, or a big ask that you guys had in the group is, how can I find leads? So that's what we're going to be diving into today. We talked about how wholesaling boils down to three things: leads, conversations, and offers. That's it. So today we're going to show you can use Propstream to knock out a lot of those. Okay, Orlando, boom, in the house. Love Florida, represent. Dave Frizzell, lay it on us. We will, for sure. Okay. Hey, Chris, didn't see the StreamYard terms to accept, but have in the past. Okay. So it's a link in the description of the video. If you're watching on YouTube, it's in the description. And if you're on the Facebook group, it's a link there. And it just says, click this link, and then it'll bring you to accepting StreamYard terms and conditions. And then you can, then I can see your name. Okay. But if I can't see your name, just say who it is. So I know who it is. Didn't see the StreamYard terms and conditions, have in the past, watching from Maryland in the house. Love it. Very cool. We got Los Angeles, California in the house. Love it. Isn't that awesome, guys? Like, being virtual is not just amazing for wholesaling, but how we can connect all over the country in one place like this. I think it's just so awesome. All right, guys. So, again, when I asked the question in our Facebook group the other day, I said, what are the things that you guys are struggling with, right? I said, again, wholesaling is made up of three things. It's made up of leads, conversation, offers. You don't need AI or crazy fancy stuff if you've never done a deal before. You just need to pick up a phone and have a way to get in touch with sellers, and that's it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you today how you can use Propstream to get that result. So let's go ahead and dive in. So let me share my screen. Give me 1 second. And share screen. I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to share the window over here. Boom. Okay, great. Can you all see that? Go ahead and drop a comment if you can see it. Looks like you can. I just want to make sure that you can see that. Perfect. I'm seeing the yeses come through. Awesome. Love it. Love it. Now, there's a little bit of a delay. So if I ask something like that and it takes a minute for people to respond, it's because, again, there's a little bit of a delay. Yes, I can. Great. Okay, guys. So here's the thing. Propstream, the reason why I love Propstream, okay, is because Propstream helps you identify the best territories. It helps you find active cash buyers. That is key. So part of the foundation of the Virtual Wholesaling Made Simple system is the FYBF method. FYBF simply means find your buyer first, right? So what we're going to do today is I'm going to show you how to find cash buyers, active cash buyers in Propstream, and how to get in touch with them and add them to your list. So we're going to go over that. Then we're going to show you how to go ahead and get a list, like some of the most popular motivated seller lists that you could pull, so you can reach out today and start talking with sellers. And then we're going to dive into how to get the phone numbers for that, what to say when you call these people. And then lastly, I'm going to show you a quick tutorial on how to value a property. We really dive into this in our Science of Comping, how to value a house in 15 minutes or less anywhere in the country. And so I highly recommend you join us on that session. We're going to be doing another one of those next week. So if you've been confused about how to value a property, you want to make sure to join those live trainings, because we dive deep into that. And I guarantee you'll have a full understanding about how it all works once you watch that training. So let's talk about picking a territory, guys. So one of the things that I've said, and I don't want to dive too deep into this because we have talked about this extensively in several videos before, but the two things that we look at in picking a territory, and you can use Google to identify a territory, and then you're going to use Propstream to dive into it. All right. So we look at a population area that has a population of 250,000 minimum people, right? We look at that. So you go to Google. If you're looking at getting started in an area, you can type in, you know, whatever city or state or not state, whatever county or city that you're looking to see if it's a good area, and you're going to type in population. So example, Hillsborough County population. You're going to open up a window in Google and do that. It'll tell you what the population is there. If it's 250,000, boom, that's the first check mark. The second thing you want to look at, guys, is the median home price. What is the median home price? The median home price is the middle home price. So the most common home price that buyers buy and want in that area. So if you picture a timeline of houses, on the left side, you have $50,000 houses on the far left, multi-million-dollar house on the right. The one in the middle, that's the median home price. That is the value that you're looking for, right? So that needs to be a minimum of $200,000. So you go to Google, you type in Hillsborough County, Florida median home price. You're going to scroll down to find the Zillow link, click it, and you're going to see what that median home price is. If that's at least 200,000, boom, second check there. You're good to go. So now you got your territory, right? So you understand how to do that. Propstream, what it does, it allows you to dive deeper into those zip codes, see the cash buyer activity, how many cash buyers are buying there, right? And it can be very helpful for that. So let's talk about finding active cash buyers. Before we do that, I'm just going to give you an overview of how Propstream, the window it looks. So once you log into Propstream, this is what you're going to see, guys. You can save special lists here across the top if you want to save certain searches that you've done. So that way you can click this, and that way you don't have to keep entering the searches over and over again. That's huge. Highly recommend that. And I believe you only get like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 presets that you can have here. And then if you want to save more than that, you can. You're just going to click all searches, and you can see exactly what you have. So you have a navigation bar here on the left, where here's the search field. This is where we're at right now. My properties, you can dive in and you can see all the properties and lists that you saved. You can see, the cool thing I like about this, guys, is you can see I have almost 229,000 records uploaded here. So I can see what percentage of those are on market, how many of them are sold, right? That I don't need to market to. So that saves me a lot of money. Vacants, how many of them are vacant, high equity, low equity, negative equity. And this makes it really helpful, because let's just say I don't want any low equity properties on my list. I can click this. Okay, low equity just means there's not enough room in there for us to make an assignment fee, chances are, right? Low equity, so what you have is you have a loan on a property, right? And let's say 80% of that property's value is the loan, okay? And 20% of value is the amount the property's worth above and beyond that loan. That's equity, right? So let's say that's 20%. Well, 20% equity isn't necessarily a good enough room for us to make a decent sized assignment fee. And so what we may want to do is we may want to take those out. So what you can do is you can come over here, click low equity. And then once this loads, it's just taking a hot minute to do that because there's so many records. You're just going to click this checkbox. It'll check them all. You can delete it. And that way you're saving on your marketing dollars. You're not marketing the properties that chances are you're not going to be able to do anything with, right? So that's where this is really, really helpful here. And let's say you just wanted to identify some of the most motivated records in your total list. So your total list is this big. Don't be intimidated by this, guys. Your list is not going to start out that way. This is around 10 years of marketing, probably 5 or 6 years in Propstream. So your list is going to be much smaller. But what's kind of neat is you can see 10,000 of these have liens, 581 homeowners are facing bankruptcy or going through that. 1,539 of those houses are facing pre-foreclosure, are facing foreclosure. So this can be a great way to identify a small, tiny little list that you can call or you can send targeted marketing to, okay? Whether it's going to be calls, whether it's going to be letters, whatever you want to do, this could be a great way to do that. Another cool thing that Propstream has here is they have this automated list category down here. And what this does is if you create a list on Propstream, right, you can save that list in Propstream so you no longer have to pull that list anymore, right? Because that's one of the big headaches that I used to have going into all these list softwares, right, is pulling the same criteria over and over and over again. What if you make a mistake, right? Human error is possible. So it's amazing that you can actually save this criteria. So if you want to pull it again, you just have to click it and download the list. That's it. And what's neat about the automated list is Propstream automatically updates these lists every single month for you in real time. Sometimes they're updated daily, weekly, because initially you may do a search and a homeowner may not fit that search, right? Maybe you do a search for pre-foreclosures and a homeowner may not fit that search. And so he's not on the list. But you know what? You save your pre-foreclosure search, you automate it, you turn on List Automator in Propstream. And then what'll happen is as soon as a new home, a homeowner fits that criteria, let's say they miss a couple mortgage payments and they go into pre-foreclosure, right? At that point, Propstream will send you an email saying, guess what? This person just got added onto your list. So you don't need to constantly be pulling lists. You just need to pull the list one time, save it, automate it here, and then Propstream will deliver those new seller records to you every single month, right? Which is amazing in real time. So how powerful could it be, guys, if you have an automated list like this and you just find out a homeowner is now facing foreclosure, you get a notification of that, you can get the phone number for that property, call that homeowner right then and there and be the first to. How powerful is that? That's amazing, right? So that's one of the benefits of that. So here's what you have here. You can set favorites for different types of lists that you pull. Again, these are the marketing lists that we pull here. And then over here, we have a way to automate those lists. All these lists, or the majority of these lists, we have automated. So we're getting constantly notified of new records being added. The contacts feature over here, this is when you're going to use skip tracing in Propstream. Propstream does offer skip tracing. I believe it's somewhere around 10 cents a piece. We do have a better option for skip tracing that I'm going to be sharing with you guys here shortly. But if you did want to skip trace lists inside of Propstream, you can do that. Campaigns, you can see I don't use this, so don't really worry about that. And then you have settings and all that other stuff down here. So let's go back to the search, all right? So here's what we're going to do. The first thing that we're going to do, let's pretend that we've identified our area. And so what I'd like to do, guys, I want to use somebody's area here. So who would like to volunteer for their area to be used in this tutorial? Go ahead and comment me along with your area, and then I can go ahead and start there, and I can show you how to find all these things in this area. So go ahead and drop those comments like they're hot. I've already had a few people join saying they're me, Los Angeles. All right. First to it. I love it. Arundel County, Maryland. Okay, cool. So let's do this. So we got Los Angeles, Bradenton, Arundel County, Maryland. Okay, perfect. All right, so let's do Los Angeles first. So this is going to be funny, guys, but what's the county for Los Angeles? Is it literally Los Angeles County? If it's Los Angeles County, then I'll just I'll do that. Let's just type it in and see what comes up. Los Angeles County, California. Creative, right? All right, so here's here's what we're going to do. So I pulled Los Angeles County, California, and what's really neat about Propstream here is you can kind of zoom out and you can get a picture of the entire state, what's around it. You can really zoom in to the point where you can start seeing houses. And then over here, you can see there's over 2.4 million unique properties, okay? So you can continue to zoom in. I mean, it's just pretty amazing. You can go down to the house level, the street level. You can see people's houses and all that stuff. So that's a really helpful feature there too, because you can see how the area is laid out, what major dividers you have here. If you have interstates, you have highways, things like that. That can be really helpful when you're looking at comparing properties and values. You always want to compare properties on the same side of an interstate, not one here and then one over here. You're talking apples and oranges at that point, okay? So, so we have this. So let's talk about the first step. So we've got our area, our territory, right? The next thing we're going to do is, let's say we're going to pick a marketing type. So if you're just getting, give me 1 second, guys. I'm sorry. The next thing we want to do here is we want to find active cash buyers. Okay. So it's a given you need to pick a marketing type, right? We use cold calling. That's the way that we pick up the phone and reach sellers. It is by far the fastest way to reach sellers. I don't care what anybody else says. It's the fastest way to reach sellers. And that's the way that I recommend, right? So first thing we want to do is find cash buyers. So what we're going to do here, Propstream gives us some really cool a feature here where they have what they call quick lists. So you can actually select a list that's already been put together for you, right? So you don't really have to do too much filtering above and beyond unless you want to, or there's something specific you're looking for. So what we're going to do is we're going to come down here to cash buyers and make it super simple. Okay, cash buyer properties. We are going to look for non-owner occupied properties. All right, that's pretty much already a given with cash buyers. It's going to be selected there. The next thing that we're going to look at here is ownership info. So I want cash buyers who bought within the last 90 days. Okay, so we're going to go back because these guys are going to be the most active cash buyers. So we'll just do 90 days to now, right? And then next thing we're going to do here is we're going to type owner, and it's going to be corporate. All right, because we don't want to, I mean, technically you could put individual too, because we put here the owner doesn't live there. So why not just throw that in there too? Include unknown sale dates. Okay, so what we have here, guys, we have properties that are not owner occupied. Okay, we have cash buyers, and then properties are owned by the person, so they have them in their own personal name, and they also have them in an entity. So they have like an LLC, a corporation that owns the property. The last sale date's the last 90 days. So these are the most hottest cash buyers in this area. And we're including unknown sale dates just in case Propstream didn't capture one of the dates that a property sold. So that's what we got here, guys. So now, as you can see, that huge list is slimmed down to 2,069. So what Propstream is saying is in Los Angeles County, there are 2,069 cash buyers for properties here. Now, let's find out what the median home price is, because we may not be interested in all these cash buyers. So we're going to type in median home price, and I'm just doing this in a separate window, home price, Los Angeles County, CA. All right. So it says the median home price for Los Angeles, California, it looks like it's $855,000. All right. So what you could do is you could come over here and say, I only want properties that have a max value of $855,000 and less. Okay. Because that's the type of properties that cash buyers are going to be looking for typically. Now, check this out. This is slimmed down to 458 records. All right. So 458 records. So these cash buyers are the cash buyers that are buying investment properties in Los Angeles and are going to be the types of deals that are going to be most likely to be able to wholesale. Okay. So why is this important, right? This is important because you click into here and look at this. It tells you who the cash buyer is right here, Journey Investments, Inc. Right? So some of you might be saying, well, Chris, if it's not in their personal name, how do you find the owner of the property? So let me go ahead and pull that up for you. So there's a website you can go to called Open Corporates. All right. So let me go ahead and share a different screen real quick. Share screen, share. We're going to do a window. We're going to select Open Corporates. Here we go. So we got that. So this is Open Corporates, right? So we're over here and we're going to grab this LLC. I'm going to plunk that in there. All right. And now what's going to happen, we know this is a California company, right? Because the investor's in California. So here it is right here, California. All right. So what you always want to do is you want to go by don't really go by this. Sometimes people have like a CPA or an attorney as that. So what you want to do is go by, in this case, they're all the same. But what you want to do here is you want to go by this right here, either the CEO or the agent. Okay. And then you'll simply just skip trace that person, find their phone number, okay, using either Propstream, or you could do it through a service called LeadFusion. I can drop a comment here. Give me 1 second here. Let me share with you guys my discount code for LeadFusion, where you can get skip traces for as little as 6 cents a piece. 1 minute. All right, so let me go ahead and drop that so you can have that. Propstream, they're 10 cents, I believe, but LeadFusion, I'm gonna go ahead and drop this so you guys can have access to that because you're a part of the Virtual Wholesaling Made Simple community. Give me 1 second. All right, I'm posting it right here. Boom. Okay, so there you go. So then what you're going to do is you're just going to put this, you're going to put this guy's name and his mailing address. So you could use this right here potentially. Click it. And then that will bring back, okay, his address. So this is his mailing address. So this is the one you want to use, and then that'll come back with his phone number. Then you give him a call and say, hey, you know, my name's so-and-so. I noticed that you recently purchased a property off of, let's see where this guy bought a property. I noticed you recently purchased a property off of 50th Street in Los Angeles here, and wanted to see if that was like a one-off purchase for you, or if you're looking to buy more investment properties. And if he says, no, I'm looking to buy more, great. Well, you know, my name is so-and-so. I'm with a local real estate investment company. We come across off-market properties all the time at 30 to 50% below market value. Would you like me to go ahead and add you to our investor list? And he's going to say, yes, add me to your list, right? At that point, you're going to add him to your list, and then boom, you start building your list this way, okay? So that's huge. So now what we've done is we've found a cash buyer. I've shown you how to get their information, and you can do that all right here in Propstream. So let's say you're like, okay, Chris, well, I don't really want to use a separate service. I'd rather just skip trace it all in Propstream, right? So you can select the property right here. You can select the property right here. And there's a way for you to come in here and do that. Let's see. Oh, I believe you have to add it to a list. Yeah, so you have to add it to a list. And the way that you do that is you select the ones you want, you add it to a list. And once you add it to a list, you can then go over here and skip trace it. And that's how you do it. So you guys can see how powerful this is. Like, I don't even, you know, like I'm not even living in the Los Angeles County market. And I can use this tool to go in here and find the top cash buyers who are buying properties right now in this area because I'm using Propstream. Do you guys see how easy it is? So what we've done here so far is we've found cash buyers. So we've done this, and you can do this anywhere, guys. And I'll show you my criteria. I'll put it up on the screen here again. I just said owner occupied, no, cash buyers, individual and corporates. Now this becomes really easy when the property is not in a company name. It's in the person's personal name. So like this person right here, her mailing address, you just skip trace this person, get the phone number and call. And if an individual person owns it, you always want to find out if this is a property that they bought for themselves as like a one-off purchase, or if it's something that they bought as an investment. And again, if they bought it as an investment, then you want to see if they're looking to buy more, right? So that's what you do there to find the cash buyers. What do you guys think so far? Isn't that pretty cool? How you can go in there and you can find the cash buyers? I thrive off of engagement, guys. I love to hear your thoughts so far. So then, all right, let's talk about the next stage. All right, so now we know how to find cash buyers. And again, guys, Facebook groups are an amazing place to find cash buyers too. But regardless of where you pull the cash buyers from, I want you guys adding a minimum of 5 cash buyers to your list every single day. 5. Okay, you can pull cash buyers right here in Propstream. Another cool thing is Propstream offers a flippers list, and this is agents that have sold investment properties. So these guys can be great source for potential referrals for properties, and they have connections with cash buyers, and they give you the phone number for the agent right inside Propstream here. So you don't even have to skip trace them. You can just pick up the phone and call them. I mean, this has been huge. So a big thing we use to find buyers is we use the flippers filter as well as the cash buyers filter too. Sometimes what people will tell you to do is you want to pull like a list of absentee owners and those are your cash buyers. That's not always the case, but I found Propstream is wildly accurate when it comes to finding cash buyers. So that's what you want to do. All right, so we've talked about cash buyers, right? So let's go ahead and clear all. So the next thing that we want to do is we're going to use Los Angeles County here again. All right, again, back to 407,000 properties in that's Los Angeles, the city. Here we go. That's more like it. So, so now what we're back at here is we're back at finding a list. Okay, so for sellers. So now we're looking for sellers. We showed you to do buyers. Now we're only looking at sellers. So what you want to do here, guys, is you want to use one of these preset searches here. As you can see, Propstream has a lot. They have vacant properties, properties with liens, pre-foreclosures, properties where the auction date has been set. Okay, now this is a bit of an advanced list, and I don't recommend targeting this list unless you have a solid buyers list, because auctions, meaning the person is so far along in the foreclosure that the auction date has been set and they could lose their home any day now, and you got to have a solid cash buyers list out of respect to the homeowner to be able to work those. But these can be wildly motivated people, because a lot of times when people go to sell, people are facing foreclosure, they're in a constant state of denial. They don't believe they're actually going to lose the house. They think they're going to pull a rabbit out of the hat and everything's going to magically be okay. But the reality is that most of those situations, unfortunately, it doesn't end up being like that, and they lose the house. So auctions are great because these sellers are already past that point of denial, and now at this point they're accepting the fact they're going to lose the house. Okay, so these can be great sellers to work with and help in a pinch. But again, you want to have a strong cash buyers list or be working with a wholesaler who has a strong cash buyers list and get the deal done. Bank owned, I don't target this one at all because this is after the bank has already owned the property. This is also known as REO, real estate owned, bank owned, same thing. High equity properties, too broad in today's market. I don't target that. Free and clear, these are homeowners that, again, that own their properties free and clear. So there's no loan against it whatsoever. You can have massive assignment fees targeting sellers like this. But in today's real estate market, you don't just want to target homeowners with equity because it's not enough motivation. Okay. Interest rates are high. Properties have gotten a lot more expensive. And so sellers really have to have a good reason to move right now. So I would avoid just targeting free and clear. Bankruptcy, this can be great. They're facing bankruptcy, close to going through foreclosure, but they're doing this to stall the foreclosure and kind of reorganize their finances, seeing if they can turn things around. So really motivated group. Divorce, self-explanatory. You guys know what divorce is. Tax delinquencies. This is good. People actually can lose their property in select states. People can lose their house to foreclosure by not paying their property taxes. Doesn't matter if they have a mortgage and they're current on their mortgage. If they're not paying their property taxes, at least in the state of Florida, you can lose your house to foreclosure over a couple $1,000, which is pretty crazy. And in some states, the foreclosure, a tax lien foreclosure, can actually wipe out the mortgage, which is interesting. So, so that is a great homeowner to target. I would target homeowners who are 2 years or more behind in their property taxes. You can easily set that in here. Flippers, we talked about this. This is a list of agents that have brought buyers for investment properties, so that can be huge. Failed listings, motivated homeowners, right? They've tried to list their property. They thought they could get their pie in the sky number. Reality has settled in, and guess what? They're not getting it. Okay, so this is a mixed bunch of people. Some people who are going to be highly unrealistic because they think that there's something wrong with everybody else. Their property is worth so much more money. They don't care what the market tells them, and they're just going to hold out for the Taj Mahal price, right? But the fact is they're overpriced. So this can be a good one to target. Senior owners, one of my favorite to target in this market because they're downsizing. They don't care about how much houses cost right now. They don't care about interest rates. A lot of times they're moving in with their kids or getting their little beach condo to retire for the rest of their life. So they don't care about values and all that stuff. They just want to downsize. So this is a great list right now. Vacant land. If you're someone who targets vacant land, this could be an amazing list to pull, right? Not a lot of competition in vacant land. So this could be good. Tired landlords. These are people who have owned investment properties for 15 years or more. And so this is a highly motivated group of absentee owners, right? These are investors that own properties that tried to time the market. They failed, right? And now they're just like, shoot, I want to sell it while I can still get max value for my property. So this could be a great list target right now. My two personal favorites are senior owners and tired landlords. zombie properties. These are simply properties that are facing foreclosure and they're vacant. So the homeowner has abandoned the property. So I don't know how much more motivated you can get there, right? And then lastly, pre-probate, these are deceased owners. So let's say a husband and wife own a property, one of them passed away, they'll be added to this list. Let's say the owner of a property passes away and they haven't transferred the ownership from the person who passed away, so the estate, to the beneficiary, the person who's going to inherit that house. That hasn't happened yet. So this can be a great list of sellers to target. If you're brand new, I wouldn't necessarily recommend targeting pre-probate though, unless you're targeting some other types of sellers as well. The reason for that is because when a property for a property to go through the legal process known as probate, which is simply transferring ownership from a property of someone who's passed away to someone who's living, who's supposed to inherit that property, that can take anywhere from 3 to 6 months, sometimes more in other states. And so you can get a huge assignment fee on these properties because there's almost no emotional attachment to these properties. The sellers just want them gone, right? But the issue is that process can take anywhere from 3 to 6 months. So if you've put someone into marketing and you're just waiting for your first deal, you don't want to be waiting that long. And so I would recommend targeting this only if you're targeting other groups of sellers as well. Okay. So that's a breakdown of all Propstream's features. But again, if I want to target pre-foreclosures, here's what I got to do. I just select pre-foreclosures, right? And I can do other cool things here. Like I can say I want properties that are non-owner occupied, they're facing foreclosure, and the property is vacant. All right. So that's a pretty motivated homeowner right there. All right. So 5 properties. I can even go one step further under ownership info, and I could say the absentee owner lives out of state. So the homeowner lives out of state. Now watch this. I would call the heck out of this property right here, right? If it was a house. This is a gym health spa. So one thing I forgot to mention is under property classification, you want to select residential properties, and you want to do that for cash buyers too. I left that out. So, so now what we have is, let's go to any for owner occupied. Okay, let's try that. Okay, nothing came up here. So I could say any. So maybe the property is, it's not vacant. Maybe it's tenant occupied, but the guy's facing foreclosure. I'd call the heck out of this property, right? So this property, you come over here, you can see it. Obviously, this property needs some work. This is a wholesale deal all day long. Everything's outdated. Look at this, man. So I would call the heck out of this property here. So for those in Los Angeles, California, just got a free lead. So anyway, this is NDF1 LLC. So again, just use the open corporate site like I showed you to find the owner of this property, get their phone number, call them, and there you go. And you have a homeowner that you can talk to today that's motivated to sell their property. And again, so let's take a look at what the criteria was and why he'd be motivated, or she, right? So it's non-owner occupied. So it's an investor that owns a property. It's facing foreclosure and the owner lives out of state. How big of a headache is that to deal with a property that you're facing foreclosure on and you live in another state, right? So unless you got loads of properties, which another cool thing about Propstream is we can see how advanced this investor is. And if you see this little link, this link here, it says linked properties. You can click this and look at this. It says this guy owns 4 properties. And what's really neat about this is you can look and see if these are facing some type of motivating circumstance. He owns one in Sarasota, one in Jacumba, California, Laguna Hills, and Pomona. So you could actually, when you're talking to this one, if he is motivated to sell this one and wants to, you can then ask him after you got this one under contract. You could say, hey, just curious, do you have any other properties you'd want to sell? Maybe something that needs to be remodeled. And he's going to be like, you know what? I actually have 2 or 3 other properties that I'd want to sell. Great. And you want to ask him for the address. You don't want to tell him that you have access to this info because it freaks people out. Okay. So don't do that. But again, look at this. It gives you the property type, the status of the property. If it is non-owner occupied, it says on market. So it's an MLS deal right now. If you don't want properties that are on the market, what you could do is you go to MLS status here. So if you want off-market properties only, you could even go to you could do no, and then it would filter out that property, obviously, right? And these are the ones here that fit this criteria, where the property's facing foreclosure, the owner's facing foreclosure. It's a residential property, okay? It's not on the market, and the owner lives out of state. So there are 19 records here, okay? So 19 records of property owners that are all more than likely motivated. And again, this guy owns 75 properties, so he may not be as motivated to sell his property, may not, right, as the guy with 4 properties, but still, it's a great way to find motivated homeowners. And what I find here is if you come in here and you stack these, right? So let's say I'm going to go in and find, I'm going to find properties that are not owner occupied. Okay, so it's an investor owns a property, the property's vacant. And then let's say I want to go over here and I want to say there are active liens against the property and the lien amount is at least $5,000. All right. So I have non-owner occupied, vacant, has active lien, 5,000 or more. Property characteristics, again, I'm going to do residential, single family. I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to come in here and put Los Angeles County again. 7 properties. I would call the heck out of these 7 properties because it's a homeowner who is, he's an investor. He owns the property. The property's vacant, right? It's a single family house, has an active lien of at least 5,000 or more, right? So this could be a utility lien, could be code violations, could be a number of different things, right? And what you could even do here is you could drill down to the amount of equity the property has, right? So let's say you want a minimum of 50% equity. All right, so at this point, there's 4 of them here. So this could be a smoking, include unknown equity, always do that. All right, and then what you can even do here is you can go to, let's see something else we want to do here. So 5,000 or more, 50%. Okay, ownership info. You could even say the property's vacant. Again, absentee owner, he lives out of state. Okay, so there isn't there. Out of county, maybe he lives outside the county. So you could do that too and see what pops up there. So he doesn't live in that county, he lives out of the county. Okay, there you go. And don't forget to put, when you're looking at these properties, don't forget to put the value, estimated value. I think it was 850 or 833 to make sure we pull up the only types of properties we want, right? Boom. So then we'll come over here and we're going to go to ownership information. And I'm going to come over here and I'm just going to do, I'm not going to select that. I'm just going to select all. And look at that. We got this property right here. So that is probably a motivated homeowner. Okay. So now you guys know how to get leads, right? So now what you have, Gail's saying you don't see the link yet. I posted the link. Okay, here, let me get it posted here, guys. This is the LeadFusion link for you guys for skip tracing. And this will allow you to get 6 cents skip tracing. Okay. And that's for bulk and one-off searches. So highly recommend that. All right. So I'll leave that on the screen here for just a second so you guys can have access to that. All right. So do you guys see how simple this is to pull lists inside Propstream? I mean, pretty awesome, the amount of information you can get in here, right? And so if I was, let's say you're someone that has like no budget whatsoever for marketing at all, and you're just getting started, what I would do is I would go in here and I'd pull small lists like this, and I would just call the homeowners, and I would call the heck out of them, right? And I would call these really niche lists that have like 5 or 10 records on there, 50, and I put them into an Excel spreadsheet, and I would just hit them every single day is what I would do. Now, if you have a dialer and you have a little bit more money, you have a little bit of a marketing budget, you can export these out of Propstream, import them into a dialer, and you can call a ton of records all at the same time, and it just speeds up the process to get you to your first deal as quickly as possible, right? So that's That's what I would also recommend. These small lists, these are great. Do not underestimate the power of these small lists here, guys. Do not underestimate them. They are amazing. So let's see what else here. Okay, great. So Gail, you see the link that I put up there? It's https://. I'm working on a short link here, guys. I know. LeadFuzionLists.com. So what dialer do I recommend? A dialer that I recommend is, I'll post it right here. So okay, so I'm going to post it here on the screen. The dialer that I recommend is risedialer.com. And basically, this dialer is one of the best dialers out there. You can get started for $150 per seat. So if it's just you dialing, it's $150 a month. And then, of course, you just have to pay for phone numbers and things like that. But this is an amazing dialer. And it's the one we've been using exclusively for the past probably 6 or 7 years. So it's a great dialer, and all the biggest guys in the business use it. So I'd highly recommend it. So Rise Dialer, it can be a little bit of intimidating for someone who's brand new. So this is one of the things we're looking at right now to make sure this is the best fit for people who are brand new. But what I can tell you is that they have amazing customer service, and they just started doing this thing where they do a VIP onboarding for you if you sign up for it. And what they'll do is they'll walk you through the entire dialer to make sure you don't have any questions or anything like that. They can be your single point of contact, answer questions for you. And when I say their customer support is available 24/7, like it's 24/7. So some of the best customer support I've seen. So if you want to use a dialer, that's what I recommend. All right. So so let's talk about the next part. So we've talked about so far, skip tracing, or we've talked about getting lists. Let's go ahead and pull up our skip tracing service that we use, so I can share this with you guys. Bear with me for 1 minute. Whoop. Give me 1 second. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this up here so you guys can see what this offers. Bear with me for 1 minute, guys. I'm just going to get this pulled up here. Copy. And then I'm going to go, I'm going to do that and do it there, right there. Okay, cool. So this is LeadFusion, right? So what you want to do, hang tight for 1 second. Let me just, so this is what the page will look like if you're, this is what the page is going to look like if you are going to this link for the first time. What you're going to see here is we offer several bonuses for our clients and for people in the community. You get 10 free single search skip traces. So those one-off searches I was showing you for companies, you can do that. 1,000 bulk skip traces. They give you 1,000 skips for free. They give you 6 cents skip tracing, and there's a lot of other features in here too. Let me pull up what it looks like here, just so you guys can see that. And then we'll continue with Propstream. Bear with me for 1 second. Boom, pull this up. I'm going to pull up my account, log in. Give me a minute. Okay, so this is what you're going to see when you log in. So I really like this. You can do single skip, which is where you can type in the homeowner's first name, last name, their mailing address, and then it'll come back with all the credits here, or all the information. You'll get their name, you get their email, phone number, address. I mean, it's pretty amazing. You can also search by the address, and then just putting the address here, it'll come back to the homeowner's information. And then lastly, you can also do an LLC skip where you can put the company's name in here, right? And then not pulling out the owner and do a search. So it's pretty awesome. And then they also have a bulk upload, right? Where you can do, where you can upload a file. So you can upload bulk skip trace lists. So what is a bulk list? It's like a list of, like a 500, 1,000, those type, right? But if you're looking to do one-off skip tracing, then you would just do the single skip and it would pull back like that. One of the most accurate skip tracing services that we've used. Highly recommend it. Okay, so going back to Propstream. So you guys got the sites to get the information. Based on, I would skip trace a lead live for you, but YouTube doesn't like people's contact information being put all out there. and they'll delete the video. So I don't want that. So you'll just have to imagine entering the information there. It comes back to the phone number and then calling, right? So so what's next? Okay, so now we have a motivated homeowner, right? We've got their phone number. So just imagine for a moment that we have their phone number, okay? And all we're doing is we're giving this person a call. And what do we say when we call this person, right? We're just going to say, hey, you know, I hope I have the right phone number. Is this you could say, is this Claudia? Yeah, hey Claudia, I know that you don't know me, and I may be catching you off guard here, but my name's Chris. I'm actually a local investor in the area and came across your property off of Paxton Street over here in Pasoima. Don't hate me if I'm pronouncing that wrong. California has some funky city names. And she was like, yes. I'm like, okay, yeah, I was just calling to see if you consider a cash offer on your property there. And she's going to say yes or no. If she says yes, then cool. You want to get the 4 pillars of motivation. The 4 pillars of motivation is price, timeline, motivation, and condition. So price, how much are they asking for the property? Timeline, how soon are they looking to sell? Motivation, what's the reason that they're even considering selling the property to you? And condition, have they done any updates or remodels in the last to any of the kitchen and bathrooms in the last 5 years, right? So you want to ask those things. Then when you have all that information, that gives you everything you need to know to make an offer. Then what you can do is you can start valuing the property, right? And for a really deep overview of how to do this, guys, I'd really recommend you attending our series when you see them in Virtual Wholesaling Made Simple, the science of comping. You can even see replays in the group, watch them on YouTube. But I would just do this one really quick. I'm just going to show you what I would do. So the homeowner tells me everything over the phone. I'm like, great, fantastic. Thanks for sharing that with me. I'm going to crunch some numbers of the property and I'll call you right back. So I'm just going to go over here. I'm going to put in these things to 19 like that. So then I come over here. And what I'm looking for here is properties that have been fully renovated. It looks like properties that are fully renovated are more so selling in the 700s, more than likely. Let's take a look at this one. I'd plop this one over here into a separate tab. I'm going to take a look at this one when it's sold and see what it looks like. Okay. All right. So this one was renovated for sure. Okay. So this is a good renovated comp. So I'm going to assume this other 720 is too. So because that's in the range, and then we'll grab this 700,000. So Propstream is basically saying the average sale price for these three is 723. But if you want to take this 652.90 and you want to multiply that times you want to multiply that 652.90, so 652.90, and multiply it times the square footage, 1172. Ooh, properties in California are expensive. So this says the value of this property is 765. 765. So that's how you determine, the value of the property. Got the lead. Boom. Love it. What is the dialer again? So Gail wants to know what the dialer is. It's risedialer.com, RISE dialer.com. Okay. So so that's how you reach out to these sellers. I just valued the property live here. It took me less than 15 minutes to do it. It only took a couple of seconds. And if you attend our Science of Comping series, you can get as good as I got here with it and start knocking these things out really quickly. Now, one of the things that I just did here that I said I shouldn't do, only because I did it really quickly, is I grabbed, let's see here. I grabbed this comp over here. Can't use that. So I would probably use number 2, which it doesn't look like it changed the value too much. And number 5, this is probably not renovated. I wouldn't use that. So I would probably use number 2. So let's see how that affects things here with our number 637 times 1172. Yeah, so 746. I think I said 750 earlier. Tomato, right? So I just noticed I caught that. And that's what I love about Propstream here. You can see where the other properties are located. So you can see which ones you want to use. You can view map view, Google Map View like this. It's kind of cool. You could even plop yourself right there and check out the street. I love that, right? Here's the comp number 2. So if you want to make sure it's even the same type of house, that's perfect. See how awesome that is? Let me hide Gail's comment there so you guys can see it. Pretty cool, right? And then you can even go down the street and just take a walk down, let's see, Davonlea Lane, I think it says. Daventry Street. Get a feel for it. So this is how, guys, like if I'm when I'm virtual wholesaling, like I can get a really strong feel of an area, right? Because I can literally virtually walk down the street. And this can also be a great way of virtually driving for dollars. Like we target that one property, but let's say you see a house with a blue tarp on the roof, right? Or you see a property that has a lot of overgrowth. Then what I would do is I would use Propstream to grab this address right here, skip trace it and call it, right? It is that easy. Okay. So that's how you would go ahead and do that. So pretty awesome, right? So what is the last step? So the last step, like we talked about, is valuing the houses like we showed you, but you can do all this in Propstream, right? And what's really cool about this, guys, is they give you all these other options when you open up a property here, right? It can tell you like what Propstream's estimated value is. It can tell you, it tells you what the average rents are in the area and so on. So it's pretty neat. You can really dig in here. What I like Propstream about the most is that it allows me to consolidate a lot of different websites. So what I used to have to look up is properties on the local property appraiser website. I used to look on the tax website to get information that I need to value the property correctly and so on. But Propstream, what it does is it gives you all that right here. So it saves you a lot of time. So you don't have to worry about hopping to 15 different websites. It's all right here. I can even see how much, like the lien against the property. I can see that, the tax info, how many other properties the homeowner owns, what it was sold for. You can order documents here if you want. Propstream is really, really very detailed. So love it. Okay, they even have their own calculator, so you can value properties and things like that too. But yeah, guys, so that is Propstream, and that's what I recommend here. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to go ahead and open the floor here for questions. If you guys have any questions on anything that I did today, or you just have questions in general about Propstream. And by the way, if you go to getpropstreamnow.com, you can get a 7-day free trial by going to getpropstreamnow.com. And then Propstream also allows you to download up to 10,000 records each month. Okay, with this membership here, and it's $97 a month. But you get a 7-day free trial. Try it out, download some records, see if you like it, and if you like it, fantastic. And if you don't, well, there's not really a don't, because I know that you will. So yeah, so awesome, guys. Glad having you on here today. We're reaching close to the end of our time here. What questions do you guys have for me? Any questions? Love to make sure I get your questions answered here. All right, I must have explained it so well that you guys don't have any questions. Or maybe it's glitching like it was last week where I exited the live and then there was like a ton of questions that people had once I got off, and I didn't realize that StreamYard wasn't displaying them properly. But either way, I'll make sure I get them answered. So drop those questions. Cool, guys. Well, like I said, go to getpropstreamnow.com. I'm going to check the Facebook group just to make sure that I'm not leaving anybody hanging here. Give me 1 minute. I'm going to check that group. Okay. So, yeah, looks like I've gotten back to everybody. Awesome. Very cool. Fantastic. All right, guys. Well, have a great rest of the day today. Hope you guys have enjoyed this Propstream tutorial. Again, go to getpropstreamnow.com, secure your 7-day free trial, and start doing deals. Just follow the steps. If you follow the steps in this video that I did today, guys, you can go out and get a property under contract. Hands down, you can do it, right? So do that, enjoy, and I will talk to you guys soon.